Happy Saturday. I'm out here changing a air compressor on a Volvo D13. Looks like it's going to be pretty fun. Here, that's a hard pipe going on above the transmission. That's a hard pipe going across to the turbo. So it's going to be pretty fun. Not too heavy. 3 bolts. There's one right there, one on the bottom, and one on the opposite side. And just comes out. And just slap another one in, just like that. Let's see. Okay. So correction, this pipe for the air compressor inlet does not go to the turbo. It's non-turbocharged. It's natural aspirated, so it's going to the air filter housing. So yeah, so the air compressor is just getting air directly from the air filter inlet pipe. So look like I had that little 12 millimeter right there, and I got some hose clamps. Pop that off. So that bolt ended up being a 14 millimeter, and the Volvo loves the 12s and the 14. So took that off, and coming around the front, to the driver's side, that allows me to get a little wiggle room, so I don't have to completely disconnect it. I can just move it out of the way. So should give me enough room to get the turbo, I mean not the turbo, but the air compressor out of there. Just keep chugging along. So I decided not to drain the coolant completely and decided just to block off the hoses. So everything's disconnected. I had the oil feed is disconnected. I have the air unloader, compressor discharge, and inlet all disconnected. So I think I have enough room to wiggle her out. So it's just 3 bolts, and we'll get it out of there. So I finally got her out. Cleaned around the surface area where the O-ring would seat. Here's the old compressor. There's the original O-ring there. I get to pop this gear off and swap it over. Look like it's tapered, so we'll see how fun that is. But gotta swap some fittings. That fitting there, of course, this one, that one, and this one, and that one. So a little bit of work to do, but we're getting ready to go back in with it. So we got everything swapped over, and I installed it. Cleaned up some of the threads on the studs for the air compressor. They came off a little rough, so I used my little thread cleaner. Just gotta hook up the coolant lines. I do have to go back to Volvo because this was a sealing washer. So I need to get the sealing washer for that, and that's about it. Everything else just go back together. Flush the system, change the filter dryer, and go from there. It's a little warm out here, trying to beat the storm. It says about 1 o'clock. Storms in North Houston area. Got my trusty dusty tap and die set. Probably like 10 years old. Called it Plan C. Customer also had a failed parking brake release valve. I had released the truck side parking brake and aired it down, and it did not pop out even though it went all the way down to 0 psi. So we're gonna go ahead and change that with a model. So I believe in using original parts, especially on the air brake side. Okay, swap the parking brake release valve. Volvo does not give you any kind of room as far as slack with those airlines. So luckily I had my needle nose. Let's see where they are. These bad girls right here. So I was able to grab and pull out, and then of course I used the airline disconnect tool, which I already put up. But yeah, so it made the job pretty easy. Now I'm gonna go get the sealing washer and put everything else back together and flush the system. Just a little tip: if you are replacing the air compressor on the Volvo D13, there's gonna be a sealing wash on the air compressor discharge line. It's gonna go right behind this fitting. You cannot buy the sealing washer by itself. You have to buy the entire fitting. The sealing washer is a part of the fitting right here. So, a little tip. Okay, so we got everything reassembled, and I replaced all that wonderful coolant in there. So we got a genuine Volvo air dryer, air compressor on there, genuine Wabco. So I don't know if we'll be able to see that air dryer, but it's over there. You can see the top of it right about there. I'm not sure.